Welcome to Factorio Reverse Megabase. My name is Nilaus and this is the first episode of my new Let's Play series. Before we dive into the actual gameplay, let me just start by explaining a bit about what this series is going to be about, because it's going to be a bit different from how they usually go. If we just click on this one, we can see more of the background awesomeness. So this is Reverse Megabase, and I've been hinting a bit about it on Twitter and in my Let's Play streams on Twitch, but let's go into the detail of what this is. Basically, I want to do a Megabase build, and I know that a lot of people have been asking me to convert my previous series, my Death World series, into a Megabase, and I just don't really feel like it, because I think that it's already so established that converting it into a Megabase is just going to be a lot of deconstruction and reconstruction, and that's not really what we want to do. We want to actually have a Let's Play series that focus on the design and challenges of building a Megabase. What I've seen is that if I wanted to make a Megabase, then the first 30 episodes is going to be building the place to even launch the rocket, or maybe 20 episodes or something like that, and we've done that before. So this series will basically start at the point where we have a base that is capable of producing as much as we are doing in our Death World series. Basically, we have an unlimited amount of resources coming in. Well, not resources, but modules, beacons, that kind of thing. So we can focus on building and designing instead of building the base that builds the base. We've done that a few times. Now let's do the next part. So the objective is going to build a 3000 signs per minute Megabase. And we're focusing on the Megabase design, and I wanted to do something different. And I've spent a lot of time just trying to figure out this concept here. One of the big things is, well, previously I focused on biters. Don't want to focus on that. That's never an issue when you are doing Megabasing. So forget about biters. They're gone. I want to build a base where I don't just stamp down my masterclass blueprints, because, I mean, you've seen that, and we've done that. And if you want to look at my masterclasses, take a look at those. But I wanted to do something different, but I didn't want to do a modded Let's Play. I'm doing modded Let's Play on Twitch, so let's do something that's vanilla focused. And I want to make sure that we focus on the late game part. So what I'm doing is we're going to build a base. Let's start with a new game and go in here. What I'll be doing is I will be cheating. Oh dear. He will be cheating, and he's even admitting it. So what does that mean? That means that I will be cheating resources in. Basically, the concept of this base will be that we start from the end. We simply start with actually building the science facility. Once we have the science facility, we are going to simulate the input of science into that, so we can actually get the 3000 science per minute operational at the beginning. From then on, we're going to replace the automatic generation or the simulation of materials with an actual build, and therefore we'll that's why it's reverse. We start with the end, the science, and then we work our way backwards, building rocket silos, building low density structures, building copper, iron, plastic, those kind of things, and then working our way through all the different science. And it's going to be trying to at least be sort of an aesthetic build. There'll be trains, there'll be robots, there'll be belts, and what I usually find when building a Megabase is that when you build the red signs, nothing happens. When you build the green signs, nothing happens, because it's still waiting for the other signs. It's only when you build everything that you see the actual base come together. And I want to do that, make sure that we have at any given time a base that is beautiful, doing stuff. So that's going to be our focus. For that purpose, I have set some things here. We set the frequency as low as we can possibly get it. Large sizes, extreme richness, except for uranium because it's silly. Terrain, we have low water, very low coverage of water. Trees, none of those, no cliffs. We don't need none of this. Enemies, they're gone. That one, which should be there but isn't. And also pollution. There's no point in having pollution if we don't have biters. So from here on, we can just dive in, take a look at the preview. You can see it's a big build. We are going to overwrite a lot of these patches, and then be careful about patches. He'll kick you down a hole if he gets a chance, bastard. And we'll build from here. And when we get into the game, I'm going to explain about the essential mods that I'm going to be using. It's still going to be a vanilla playthrough. It's still going to be a vanilla design, all that. But I'm going to use some tools to make things easier for you and for me to work. So, without further ado, let's dive into the game. And here we are, we're ready to get started. So we are going to do some things that are going to seem a bit weird. First of all, we are going to take a look at, we are going to build a Megabase, but how are we going to build a Megabase from this? Well, the first thing is we are going to assume that we have all technologies unlocked. There we go. Technologies are now unlocked. Now we're going to do the most important thing, and that's setting. Oh, by the way, if you think things look a bit different, that's because I'm playing on version, on the latest experimental version. The latest experimental version is at the current moment 1.12, 1.1.2. Yes, so that's the current version I'm playing on. I'm going to continue to play on the latest experimental version, and because, well, then we get all the new goodies in there as well. And the mods I need, they are also working. So we are going to, now what we've done is we've simulated the point where we have a full, all the research unlocked. We can see that the things we have now, the only thing we have remaining on science is actually the infinite science, and it's a Megabase, so that's what we need to do. We are going to now go through the mods as I unlock this. So there are 2 mods that are essential, but there are also added a few other convenience mods. The convenience mods are things like squeak through, so I can walk through pipes and between buildings. It is even distribution, so I can take stuff from my inventory and just bump it into various locations. That's also good. We are then going to, what else are we going to do? Other mods. Well, then we have the max rate calculator. That is basically you can make a selection box on machines, and it'll tell you the output in items per second, and it's a great way to do designs. I'm using it for my masterclass, so that's going to be used for this one as well. The big thing here is the fact that we are going to use a mod called editor extension. If I press Ctrl E, then I go into the editor mode, and then I can do all sorts of weird things, spawn things, but I can also do a command called cheat. Cheat mode enables. That means I now have an extra tab over here of cheating tools. So basically what this means is that I can invent things with a loader. This one can simply just create stuff out of thin air. And all these things can also do stuff. So that's how we're going to start simulating things. We're going to, in the first episode, we are going to focus on getting established so that we can build our base, but also working on the first part, which will be the science build. So our objective is 3,000 science per minute, and that's the size we're going to go for. However, before we get started, I need to do some of these things here, and there are a few other things I think we need, maybe one of those. This is simply to allow us to focus more on building stuff and less on the infrastructure, because I want this to be a build about that one. Yeah, I want it to be a build about the Megabase, not about getting to the Megabase, because basically you can see this as an extension from our previous series. We're just starting from scratch. So what this is a super good super roboport. It's very big. This is a super powerful. It reaches very long distances. We're going to take a few things so that we don't have to deal with those in the beginning, such as we're going to take one of these. This one will give us basically at this point unlimited power, and we're going to get a big radar, so we get a big area covered. There we go. That's starting to get there. And then we're going to invent materials out of nowhere. We're going to take one of these called an aggregate passive provider chest. What it basically does is it allows every item in the game in it. It even has items that are not actually enabled, such as loaders. We're not going to use that. We're going to make a vanilla base. It also has these cheaty things, which we are not really going to use, but we are going to use a few things, because at the end of the game, well, we will have stuff like a roboport. What did I do? Oh yeah, it went down there. Okay. And we're going to start by building the roboport setup, because, or the personal here. I'm going to take some of those, and I am going to take some of those. That's also kind of too many. I'm going to take some of that and some of that. And what else? Roboports. That one, and then some robots. They must be up top. Here. Okay, so let's open this one. That one should be red, or should be purple to be correct. All right, 1, 2, this is how I always build it. I'm gonna get, what? That one. 1, 2, 3. The legs here. That one. And hey, you know what? Usually I would actually make... I'm gonna put 2 more. Usually I would make a night vision here, but since I'm set it to always day, then I don't need to have that. Okay, so that's our setup for roboports. That should be good. That means we can start building stuff. I'm going to do one more thing here, and that is going to be one logistics chest. And these are things that may not make a lot of sense, but it's something I really need to do here. This is a chest that can destroy everything, and that's just a storage chest. So basically what I'm doing here is that I can request stuff from here. Any item in the game, I can now request it. And also likewise, if I want to destroy things, something I don't want any more of in my base, they'll be picked up when I have robots, of course. Let's get a few of these, not too many, don't need more. That one, only construction bots, because I only want this. I want everything to be built by me, by my robots. And that means stuff like, if I take things out, like this, there, these are not needed anymore. There. Okay, so now we have a sustainable build. That basically means that anything I want to get in my inventory, I can get it. This is exactly the same as how I did it in my... How I did it in my masterclass. No, not masterclass. Well, also there, but also in my Death World series. Basically, I could request any items because the base could produce it. Here we're just simulated by cheating because we want to focus on other things, on design instead of on that part of the base building. And I hope that you're not... I mean, I'm pretty sure that some people will go like, what's the point of a Let's Play if there's so much cheating involved? And the idea is like, you know, we have built a base that can produce an pretty much unlimited amount of speed modules. We've done that. It's been done, and I could do it again, no problem. But I like to do something else. I like to do different things in my Let's Plays, and because of that, I am actually going to do something different. And in this case, we are going to focus very heavily on the design part so that we can get that up and running. So for example, now you can see things are already coming in, and I can start building whatever I want from here. We are now pretty much ready to get started, and we have uncovered a large area. When I press F5, I'm opening the debug menu. I'm going to do that because I want to have sort of a grid around here. I want to have sort of a global grid so that I can transport power easily. But it's not going to be super important that I have it everywhere. So basically what I want to do is I want to get that out of there and actually just request some of these. 50. There. They will be coming in. Good. And I think I'll actually just already now replace that one. And if I look at here, this part, and then I do that one. This pattern here is not ideal because it's not the right size, but it is ideal in the sense that it is chunk based. And that means we can do our first blueprint. We'll take all of this scummy cheating thing out. I'll snap it to the grid. It's going to be 32 by 32. 32 by 32 is the size of a chunk. I'm going to move this one down there. Should work. And then it snaps nicely. There. We now have a network here, and our robots will build it as they come out. At some point we're going to get another one of these, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So we can now start on the actual design part of this base. Yay! We're going to need some things in here. And okay, first of all, I think I need to request it. We're going to use blue belts whenever needed. We are going to use... The reason why I'm also putting an upper bound on it is because when I do deconstruction, I want it to be removed from my inventory so it doesn't fill up with junk over time. That one can take out. I will get We'll get some of these here. We'll definitely need some of those. And we'll also definitely need some of these. This is for the liquids when we get there. Those are the two only things we're going to use for sort of generating and removing materials. Yeah. So what is it we want to do? Well, on this one, we absolutely also need some inserters. We're going to use a few of these. One stack is fine. We're going to use the green ones because this is a Megabase. You will never use any of the other ones. There may be times when you need the long-handed inserters because you need it. It would be nice to have a long-handed stack inserter. That would be super nice. But, I mean, beggars can't be choosers, right? And down here, we are going to build the liquids because we also need that at some point. I'm not really going to take all of it, or am I? I don't think so. We'll just sort of illustrate the idea. Oops. Actually, it's just 50 then. And everything I just want one stack of. And let's see, up here, we're going to get some. All of this I could also do in my previous base, in my Death World base. So there's nothing about this that's in any way different. We just don't have the build for doing this. And I'm going to get some of these because that's what we're going to start working on. Okay, so we are ready to do the first design part. Now let's get some things on our menus so we can start working with it. There. That one and that one, I guess. We're going to get some liquids. They can go down there. That seems to be a usual place for those. Over on this side, we are also going to get some boxes. And yeah, we'll get some boxes here. That one, 50. And we need some logistics chests as well. We're going to get all of them because, well, you never know. You never know. Even the green ones we might use. I don't think so, but you never know. Don't think we need any of these. And some roboports. Not sure, but maybe. Alright, so that is also good. And we are going to get a deconstruction planner for sure. That's going to be super useful. And our blueprint should also probably be put in a blueprint book already. Let's get that sign out, so pretend that it's good. And I'm going to get a little book of blueprints we can use for the base. All right, so I think we're kind of getting ready for this. And let me also just, at this location, yeah, that one. Usually here, and oh, lights, of course. We don't have lights. We do need lights. That's going to be on the power poles here. We're going to get some lights. Yeah, and as we get further. Okay, now it's time for us to do some actual design. Getting started on this. I'm just going to build it here. And, oh yeah. Modules, beacons, that kind of thing. Maybe this one is where I make modules. And beacons and modules. There we go. That one, we'll always use this. So if we want to make a Megabase, we are going to see, this is what I want about this. We are, I don't know, 10 minutes into the game, 15 minutes maybe, 20 minutes, whatever. 15 minutes in. And we're already doing design work for a Megabase build, and that's the beauty of it. This is what I wanted to do. So there we go. That is going to be the maximum you can get for any lab in here. Those research in progress. Yeah, okay. We can just choose somewhat research. I'm gonna do the same as I always do, like choose the cheapest one. This is 7,000. That one is 4,000, so I'm gonna take that. The next one is gonna be 8,000, so this one's cheaper than that one. This one, this one, this one, and then that one. Yep. So now that's queued up. What we want to do at this point is figure out a way to get things in. So we're going to have science, and we have to make a decision whether we're going to do military science. I think we're going to do military science but the problem with the military science is the fact that there is nothing that requires Oh, this is the only one that actually follower robot count is the only one that requires all signs. So I guess follower robot count is something we're gonna be using a lot. No, it's not. Yeah, this will be the primary one. These ones without the military. So I don't know. We'll it's so much easier if you only need 3 or 6 signs, but we'll do it all 7 because sense of consistency, right? So now we need 7 inputs in here. And that's always going to be an issue. What I'm usually doing is making sort of a tileable design, something like this, where some of them come from the top, some of them come from this side, and that's pretty good. The brilliant part about this one is the fact that it tiles super nicely, right? You can tile it extremely easy like this. What I don't really like about this is that well, actually, let's figure out how many we need of this, right? Unfortunately, I can't use my Maxwell calculator, so we're gonna have to do the simple good old-fashioned calculator. The funny thing with this is that all of the signs take 60 seconds. So basically what you'd want to do is take it, each lab is using 1 item per 60 seconds multiplied by the crafting speed. Okay, let's do 1 divided by 60 multiplied by the crafting speed, which is 23.45. That means each one is using 0.39 per second. And if I want to get signs per minute, then I multiply by 60. But now you can see the silliness of dividing by 60 and multiply by 60. So actually what you can easily see is that whatever the speed of the lab, that's how many items per second, items per minute are being consumed. So we just basically say, if I want 3,000 per minute, and then I divide it by 23.45, I get a number that is scarily close to 128. So I'm just going to call it 128. 128, yep, there we go. And 128 is actually a really nice number because it's 2 to the power of 7, so that's lovely. And that means it's easy to divide by 2 and 2, and it actually is so nice that I think we can do 8 times 16. There we go. So I'm gonna need 8 of these one way and 16 the other way. That means I have a shape that's, yeah, it's gonna be a meaningful shape here, but I want it to sort of be squarish, or ideally I want it to be octagonal, but let's see if I can ever achieve that. Which means that if I have 16 lanes, I think I want 60 trains with 16 wagons coming in. Right? Wouldn't that be cool to set sort of, and this is where we do the design. This is where we start thinking about it. If we have a train that's 16 wagons for each science, that means each science could input into 1 row. That means I would want to get my inputs from the top and the bottom exclusively. Yeah. So let's get this out of the way because this is still good. If I only get things from the top and the bottom, how would I do that? I think I can do something like this. That goes on to the next. That one. And then I can do... Yes. This means I can take from that one and that one. That's going to be 2 belts, and then I can do exactly the same on the other side. I don't know if that's going to be the right location. Boom, boom. Moving on to the next. And then this one has to go up here instead. And that one in here and onwards. So that's all of them coming up from the top. So I think I'm actually just going to reverse this. Flip, 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 flip. And I think I'm going to be pretty happy about this. Yeah. So take that out, take that out, take that out. This one, I don't know which direction it's going. These are going upwards. Okay, so start from here and go here. Start from here and go here and take these out. So what I have now is, this is a tileable pattern. Well, not there. There. I now have items coming in from the south. This one and this one are dead because they don't need to go up, but I do need stuff like this Actually, if I placed it up here, it would be not correct. Yeah, that one. Okay. So I'm going to take this part and go here. Now we have 4, 6, and 8. So now I just need this part and multiply it by a lot. That one, that one, that one, that one. I don't actually think I need it out here. I think I need it just a bit closer, just because. Alright, so I hope that this makes kind of sense. The one thing I should be mindful of is, am I aligning things, anything at all, towards this pattern? In that case, I think I would like to do it in a different way. Maybe just take this out, kill that one, and then just figure out. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter where I place it. But I do like to place it somewhat within a block here to begin with. Boom. And this is where we now get sort of into some issues with this part, and that's something I have to think about how we're going to do, because I don't want to sit here and spend a lot of time just waiting for robots to charge. On the other hand, I do want to be able to see robots flying out, and I want to see them being realistic robots coming in here. The only thing unrealistic about this is the simple fact that we have a sort of an infinite supply in the background, which is not completely unreasonable. You might think that's unreasonable, but it really isn't. It's what you have in a pretty good base. In our Death World base, we are producing a stupid amount of materials, so we can definitely produce as much as we need. Of course, if we just keep stamping down, then we will eventually run out. And I'm just check the network. Yeah. So what I need now is 8 this way, and then 16 this way. So this is 8 times 4. And as you can see, our robots are kind of getting a bit tired now. But that's okay. That's okay. They're allowed to get a bit tired. I'll just clean them up here. Right. Oh, when we have this, let's actually just start showing the idea I have with regards to this. So we are actually going to simulate things coming inbound, and that would mean, and I'm not sure that this is where things are going to be, but we'll just hook it up at this point. So we can simulate the input of, for example, red and green signs, and then I'm going to do that one. Yep. And then on the other side, because this is also a way to test it. Otherwise, it's just not going to be great if we can't test anything. This one will then be, well, I'm going to do that one and that one. And over here, I'm going to do this one and that one. Oh, yeah. And now I just do a copy of this entire thing, superimpose it on the next. Boom, boom, boom. And already now we can see that we are getting things in, and this is going to be the perfect way for us to test that this is actually working. So you can see things are coming in. All 7 are here. The amount being consumed by one row is 23.5 per minute. That's divided by this, so it's 3.9, and then I multiply by 8. So at this point, this belt is only consuming 3.13 per second. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of running out. And at this point, I can just happily stamp down another one. And this here is producing 750 signs per minute. And by doing this one, we can go up to 1500 per minute and then double down, and we will do that one. Right. So what I'm going to do is just do a little YouTube cut, and we'll be back when this one is all completed. All right, so now we have just stamped down everything. And how often do you see just stamping down 3000 signs per minute in this amount of time. Let's have a look at what we're doing. So you can see here that this is our confirmation that it is working. It's running at a stable 3 point. If we do on a 1 minute, then it's, well, okay, it hasn't been up and running for 1 minute, but it's converging towards the 3,000 signs per minute. Somehow it just flickers. That's a bit, oh, that's on, okay, here. So it's gonna go up there. What this means is that we now just working our way through the base, and we have sort of solved how to do the science facility, because that's it. But what we're gonna do now, then the next episode, is actually working on, all right, how are we going to get materials inbound? So that means we're going to just start immediately going into a big train design about how are we going to get something 16 trains in here unloading with the various items on different locations. I'm going to have three trains on the top, 4 at the bottom, or maybe the other way around. And that's a completely different way of doing a Let's Play series, in my opinion. And I'm super excited about it because I get to really do the Megabase part without first sort of just trudging through the whole normal game that we've done before. And if you want to see that part, there's my Let's Start Automating series. There's the the Death World series, but this one is all about the Mega in Megabase. Actually, technically Kilobase because there's only 3 kiloscience per minute. So that's a pretty good start, in my opinion, for the first episode. I hope that you find this interesting as a new concept, and then we can start working on a really big scale for everything we do immediately. So let me know what you think of this concept. I hope you want to follow it as we go along. I may actually have to come back to some of these. There are still some few things that could be done better here, and because we want to do things right, then we can actually just come back and fix some things here. Anyway, thank you very much for joining. I hope you are enjoying it. If you are new to the channel, hit the like button. Well, I mean, you can hit the like button if you are not new to the channel, but subscribe if you haven't already. There'll be tons more Factorio content on my channel, Let's Plays, base tours, and Factorio Master classes, as well as other games once in a while. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care, and as always, stay effective.